Hi, everyone. Oh, I hit the mic. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Table Talk Podcast, a companion piece to our cooking show, Cooking with Debbie and Friends. I'm Debbie.
I'm Travis.
And tonight we've got a very special guest joining us, two guests at the table. We have a longtime friend of mine, my longest friendship in the business, actually. I've known him longer than I've known one of the children. And
at least one of them.
Yes. And I like him so much better. And then we also have a new segment we're introducing tonight, hosted by the very funny Mike Cano, who will be joining us shortly.
Yeah. Yep. Before we bring them on, let's do a quick recap of the last couple of shows, the cooking show and the podcast.
Yes. Last Tuesday, we had on Mrs. Santa Claus.
Yeah. Sure. Cheryl Anderson hooked us up with that interview. It was a fantastic time.
Naughty.
Was not expecting her to be that dirty at all. And you can find those clips on YouTube. So if you want to go back and see some of the highlights, you can definitely go back and check those out.
Yeah. And then last Sunday, we made a ham. I made a glazed ham, because that's what we're going to have for Christmas. I'm making no side dishes. They can figure it out from there. You got your ham, you can grab a tortilla. Whoa, it's a burrito. You got your ham, you grab a bagel and an egg. Whoa, it's breakfast. You got your ham, slice it up, throw it on lettuce. It's a salad. That's where I am this holiday. Right. Actually, it was a really pretty ham. And we made it with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, a spiral ham, and oh my God, it tasted so good.
It's delicious, yeah. Yeah, we fed some neighbors. It was fun. And then Pilar did something on just teas, holiday teas, which was really nice. So, and this upcoming Sunday, we're going to throw it to you, and we're going to have a lot of fun with Zoom, and we're going to do a question and answer thing like we did on the show on Sunday, where we had some questions about COVID, and we had some fun with that, with those answers. So it's going to be a day where we come to the table, we're going to pour whatever we like to drink, and we're going to play games with you.
Yeah,
games that you can share with your family. So, somebody said cool. My ham was delicious.
Yeah. And next table talk. So next Tuesday, we've got the very, very funny Mike Malone coming on. Mike has a book called Dead Serious. He's got a special on Amazon, and he's going to be really good too. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that was one that, because we were going to take a couple weeks off. Everybody's taking a couple weeks off, but we would miss you guys, and we hope that you would miss us too. So we really wanted to continue with you guys and bring on some people that make you laugh. Mike will make you laugh and think. And just comments from you too are always great. So, yeah. Well,
speaking of which, let's say hi to a few people here in the, we're live streaming to YouTube and Facebook. So if you're listening to this later, please subscribe on Spotify or iHeart or Apple. But we're live streaming to YouTube and Facebook. So check us out online, and you can be part of the conversation. First person in the room, always my dad.
Always.
Hi, Dad. Good to see you there.
Yeah, and then we've got Joe Casas, Rhea Myers-Kanemacher, and Richard, who watched the show from separate rooms, and they are newlyweds. So you're going to be really interested in Mike Cano, what he has to say. And we also have Audrey and Patrick, who are newlyweds. So Mike, I know you're listening. We've got two sets of newlyweds here that can't wait to hear about your marriage advice. Right. We have Eva and Suzanne, Joe Casas, and Paula Gelman, all the way from Vegas. So
if you're watching and you haven't yet said hello, please do. And as the interviews and stuff go each week, be sure to ask questions or make comments, because the guests like to answer those. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and start? I'd like to bring in Mike Cano. We got a special segment here that we're going to do, and we're going to start that right now.
Were you leaving, Mike?
It's time for Marriage Minute with Mike Cano.
Who made that video?
What kind of sorcery is that? What's up, man?
That was like that creepy vibe when like a crazy fan sends you like a letter with cut out pieces in a magazine.
Oh my God.
That's what that felt like. I'm like, what is going on? They got my picture. They put burr, 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 burr. I got a clock in the background too. You see that?
Yeah.
Don't look too much into it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I got it at Ross. I actually got it at 75% off. I'll show you why. These are Roman numerals. Do we know Roman numerals?
I do.
That's I. That's Spanish for 3. And then something new. That's 4.
That's not right.
There you go. Debbie got it. So
you got to watch where you buy your stuff. I remember buying orange and black dice from the 99-cent store because I was having bunko. I'm like, orange and black dice. That's so cool, right? And so we were rolling. If you know, it's a dice game, and nobody was winning, and it's because none of the dice had certain numbers on it. So there were no 3s, there were no 6s. 99-cent store.
This is all part of Newlywed, okay? I just got married. Boom, look at that bling.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. How long you been married?
I heard the handcuff right when she put it on. I heard it made a sound. I swear it did. We've been married now for like a month and a half. So
wait, bro, did you ask her when you said that? Because you looked up like that, like you were asking her how long you've been married.
I was looking up to my brain to make sure it was on before we did this. Yes. No, she's not in the house right now.
Where is she?
She's coming home from work right now. She's essential. Okay. So when she's essential, you know what I do as a comedian? I put up all this stuff. I got snowflakes. That's like 8 feet in the air. I had to get 2 ladders just to reach that because I'm 5'2". Don't let this little screen fool you. Okay. So
5'2", you're downright tall.
Exactly. She's essential, and I go to work. I get all festive. See all this? Look at this. You see that tree? You see the tree?
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Let me show you how whooped in this marriage I am. Okay, we're 1 month in. Okay.
Look at this sweater.
Oh, well, you making fun of my?
No, dude. No.
Calm down. It's my biker gang. We're called the ho ho hos. Okay. This is how whooped I am. You see that?
What is this?
That's a Twilight.
Oh, Twilight.
Ornament.
Wow.
That's how whooped I am. This is what I'm putting up during the day while my boo-boo's hard at work.
Okay.
Who decorates the top of the tree?
Oh, wow. Okay.
What? No, I'm asking because I can't decorate the top of the tree, so Travis decorates it for me.
Well, she gives me a boost, okay? Work with a couple. It's all about working together.
Yes. Mike, I love your Instagrams because there are days that, with this whole COVID crap, you just feel sad. And so when I need a laugh, I go to your IG and it is hilarious.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. You guys, if you're watching, please make a note and, sign up for Mike Cano's Instagram because it is hilarious.
Matter of fact, in the description of the video you're watching right now, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, you can just click and go right to it.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's below. Yeah, in the description of the video.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things I like about it, Mike, is that you're right in tune with us, bro. We got a cooking show. Look at this. Watch this recipe, Debbie. Look at this.
Follow me.
Hey,
right?
We got to make do in this house, okay? I'm blessed that I didn't catch COVID, but I caught the 19, okay?
Oh, you did, yeah.
Whatever is here and however much of it we can. We spent all the money on the wedding, okay? It was a backyard wedding, and somehow we're still in debt. I don't know how we did it,
okay,
but we did it.
How many people, can I ask?
Yeah, 20 people. 20 people.
That's a decent size, nice little wedding.
For COVID, yeah. Did you stay?
For Mexicans? Are you kidding me? There's usually 20 people in my backyard on a regular Saturday, okay? It doesn't have to be a celebration. For Mexicans, that's crazy. That's beyond immediate. That's
right. Yeah.
That's real close. That's real close. I'm trying to keep myself together for you newlyweds out there.
We have 2 groups. We have our 2 couples.
Okay, well, keep it together. And I just want you guys to be able to get past Candle Day. I am barely going through it right now. COVID is hard enough without Candle Day. But right now at the Cano house, we're dealing with Candle Day.
Okay.
Candle Day?
Tell us more about
You guys are looking at each other. That means you have a great relationship. Ladies out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Once a year, Candle Day comes to Bath and Body Works, and they buy every candle they possibly can because somehow a $10 candle is a steal. Somehow a $10 candle is like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
And they line up at, no joke, 5, 6 in the morning for an hour. My girl woke up at 2:30 in the morning. You understand? 2:30 in the morning. She gets mad at me when I get up to go pee. And she 2:30 in the morning, the alarm's going off. She told me it's very important. She has to go get these candles. She bought 10 candles. She has a closet full of candles already. I don't stink that much. I really don't. Okay, it smells pretty good in here. I got Febreze everywhere, and they just keep coming, and it's driving me crazy. She thinks she's slick. You want me to show you what she did? She thinks she's slick. Look, I'm going to show you right now.
Oh my
She
God,
thinks she's
man.
slick. Let me tell you how good our marriage is. Oh, there's another package outside right now as I'm speaking. Okay.
Candles are important, somebody's saying. A woman.
Let
Candles
me
are
show
important,
you what
Christine.
she did. You see that?
Hide packages from husband.
This is what happens when you tip the UPS guy. He put it right there no matter what. Okay.
Nice.
What does that say? Bath and Body Works. Okay. See, this is the problem. This is the problem right here.
So Mike, we have, like I said, two couples, Anna Maria and Richard, and Audrey and Patrick, and they are newlyweds.
Mhm.
What is your advice for them?
I'll tell you the advice. I'll give it to you right now. Don't yell at your husband. Don't yell at your wife. There are lots of things you can do to send a signal to the one that you love
Is that a knife?
without going crazy. You see that? I'm going to send her a message saying, baby, it's ready for you to unwrap. Right there. You understand? You can get your message across.
So you don't have to yell.
Without the violence. And I don't know, man. They told me not to go to bed angry, and we stood up for like the first 72 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Figure that out. But hey, I'm going with it. She's right a lot of times. When she's wrong, she's right. And I'm just trying to get through it. Look, I'll talk to you after the candles are all here, okay? Because we got candles, we got hand sanitizers, we got lotions, we got everything in between. And I'm just, as a man, I'm trying to figure out women's shopping. I know that's a scary thing. Candles is one thing. I just started going to Kohl's. Are you guys going to Kohl's lately?
No.
No.
I don't know if you know this, but Kohl's is made for women. Their pricing. We went together and I bought a pair of socks and a pair of underwear, and my receipt says I saved $103.
It's Kohl's.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why Kohl's. I don't know. They're regular. They're Hanes. They're regular. I
Yeah.
don't know. But somehow Kohl's pricing drives women wild because she doesn't tell me
Right.
what she spends. She just tells me how much she saved and how much
I
I'm
do
not
that.
allowed to spend.
You do that.
I
She does do
I
that.
bring home that CVS
She does.
receipt, and then
Hey, I want to show. I want to show you one more. I want to show you another one of these that I really like. Okay, and I just think this is just look,
me. I
No.
have to start eating better. Also me.
and then it's Paula Deen writing hot dogs. Now,
Wrapped in bacon, because there's nothing better than pork wrapped in more pork.
yeah. Now I feel like that is eating better. So-
Look, this is what I do. I'm a comedian and I can't get up on stage all the time.
Right.
So what we do now are things like this. And if they want to go to my page, I'll tell you what, this is what I can promise you. Every day I'm going to have 2 hilarious memes. It makes me laugh. Some I
Nice.
make, some are friends I share. Some are just hilarious and I share them. We do videos, a lot of fun stuff. I'm a distance learning dad too. Okay. When I married in, I went from having 1 kid to having 5 and 2 grandbabies.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna
Now
bring
I'm
you
really
back.
Latino. That's what I'm talking about. Grandpa Mike.
Grandpa
Mike. 36, 2 grandbabies. That's where I'm at right
Wow.
now.
We're
That's
going to bring you
Mexican.
back to talk about that again and again. Please check out Mike Cano on Instagram. It's Mike Cano, CANOLOL, for those of you that are listening and didn't see the graphic on the screen. And Mike, just one more quick one now. I don't know if this one's going to get also banned. I know this is horrible.
When you're losing a fight and you hit him with the old razzle dazzle. Why did you pick that one? There's so much. There's so
I'll tell
many
you
others.
why. Because it got banned on Facebook. Like Facebook banned it and said that is too sexual. Are you kidding me? There
Come
are
on.
people half naked on every social media. That guy get his butt beat, the little razzle dazzle did it. Hey man,
It
all I
made me
know is
laugh.
that we're both going to be sore if that's me.
Yeah.
That's how I'm taking it. If I'm losing the fight, we're both going to be sore. They're going to have your DNA on my fingernail. Okay.
Oh
We're-
my gosh.
That was a little much.
Mrs. Claus opened the door. I don't know if we'll ever be able to shut
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry. I'll pull it back. I know Mrs. Claus. I didn't look her up on YouTube. I saw that, but I'm like, I better go look her up on some OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, you better.
She's hardcore.
She
Yeah.
does have an account.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to have you back again. So everyone, if you like Mike Cano, please follow him.
Yay.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you, my brother.
Follow the Marriage Minute. I will be giving you up to date. We'll get past the date that I can get annulled, and then we're in the clear.
Stop
you know
it. Now stop it. Stop it.
It's
All right.
milestone.
All
And
right, brother.
maybe our listeners can write for some marriage advice. That would be kind of fun for you to answer some marriage advice.
I will happily do that.
That would be great.
Happily.
All right.
All right, bro. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks
for having me, guys. Tell
Take
my
care.
I said what's up.
All right, brother. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Mike Cano, that was funny, and I know that we only got to show a couple of his memes, but if you go to Mike Cano on Instagram, every single day I'm checking out what he's got there. It's just that little nice brief break in my day, and it's funny stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to check him out. Are you ready to bring in?
I'm so excited for this next guest. I'm
Tell us
so
why.
excited because he's, like I said, he's one of my oldest and dearest friends in comedy. Anything I've ever needed, I could pick up the phone and call him and he would say yes. He doesn't hesitate. Pilar's favorite story about this person is, Mom, tell the story about when he saved my life. I said, okay, I will. But he's an amazing comedian, a wonderful human being, a motorcycle enthusiast, and he just speaks truth to power and is so honest on his podcast. And if you need just a dose of, what's going on and some clarity on this craziness, no, you're not crazy. He makes me feel like I'm not crazy. Like, okay, I see it too. On his podcast, Who's Paying Attention? And,
so you've seen him on all sorts of shows, the Science Channel, How to Build Everything, Jay Leno's Garage, Speed Channel. He's always doing something. Wait, don't tell me.
Yes, the game show.
Yeah, he's got some stuff too, special on Amazon. We're going to talk about all that in just a moment. So, without further ado,
please welcome Alonzo Bodden. Yay! Hi, Alonzo.
I only have one question.
What's up?
Why did Mike get married? I mean, he's only a month in. And the man has surrendered on all fronts. What is going on?
No, he's a kept man. He's a kept man.
I'm going to tell you the difference between being, in his case, a married guy and me being a single guy in LA. $10 candles are cheap. I mean, I've seen $50, when you go to get those gift candles, because they know, like, as a man, that I'm an idiot, so I don't know. And they show me a $50 candle, and I'm like, is that a good price? They're like, that's a great price. And then I bought a $50 candle.
But it has 3 wicks.
The triple. That's it. That's it exactly.
He knows, man.
Now I know I can get $10 candles. You give a LA woman a $10 candle, you get your cheap ass out of here. Coupon level candles. You better come in here with no candle day candle. It's Christmas, full price.
Yeah, get the good ones.
When you've been married for 27 years, you just tell each other about it. I almost bought you a candle today.
It looked real nice. It smelled good too.
But I thought we'd save the money. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Do you want to hear the story about when you saved Pilar's life?
Do you remember it?
Yes. No.
Do you remember it?
Saving a life. I think I'd remember that, but how did I?
Now this might be a little melodramatic, but
no. So I just had Pilar. She was just a couple months old. So I went back on the road right away. I had to take her with me because, I was breastfeeding her. So as we do this event, you were there. We did this big event. It was at a hotel. We were getting off the elevator and I had her in my arms. And the elevator opened and this woman said, "Oh, let me see your baby. I want to take her to see my husband." Does any of this sound familiar? It happened so quick. And she went to grab her.
I run into a lot of babies in elevators. So you got to be more.
You were standing next to me. And I had Pilar and she was a newborn. And, you always say as a mother, oh, if somebody tried to take my baby, I would boom, 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 boom. I would give him the karate chop. I'd kick him in the nuts, whatever. But I just froze and she just went and she started to take Pilar out of my arms. I just want to show her to my husband. And you just did this strong arm and just, hey, get out of here. That's a real baby. You think it's a prop? It's a real baby. So you put your arm in front of her, and then we all went to dinner afterwards, and she was in this high chair, and you just kept checking her like, okay, she's there. Okay, she's there. So
I don't think he was that excited. I was there. I know you don't remember me there because what the fuck I am. But I remember, I do remember you said, hey, that's not a prop.
Yeah.
Just real calm and collected. Yeah. And that was saving our daughter's life.
Well, and it's that thing of people. Okay, people give you the benefit of the doubt. Oh, they're excited. No, people are stupid. You don't reach for someone's baby. Are you out of your mind? You know what I mean? Like I get it. You get excited. You saw the show, and now you're there after the show. And this of course, they just heard you talking about what it's like. Back off. There's
You don't have that problem, do you?
No, but what's going, and it's happened more, and you know this, Deb, Travis, I don't know how much you deal with it, but Debbie, as social media grew, that fourth wall, that line between performer and audience has disappeared, right? Because now you have access to everything about everybody. Right. So people feel like they know you. I went through that when we did Last Comic Standing, because when I did it, it was a reality show, right? So they showed us living. We were living in that castle, and we're doing it. So you bump into someone in the airport or on the street, and they start talking to you, and I'm like, do I know that? And then I'm like, oh wait, no, you saw that on TV.
You do that though. Do I know you from somewhere?
Yeah, there's no line now, so you don't know, But in that case, it's a baby. That's you know what I mean. That's more important than whatever. That's not some kind of joke or let me see the funny hat you bought on episode 3. It's so thank God she's still alive. And here's the thing. Here's the change from umpteen years ago to now. Now, if I did the same thing, Karen would have saw it and called the cops, and I'd be in jail right now, for attacking a Mexican woman's baby. Yeah, I'd be in jail. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Karen didn't get service back then. Have you ever noticed Karen always gets service? Why is that?
I don't know
what plan they're on.
When I don't get service in my living room, I got T-Mobile. T-Mobile's 5G connects through 3G. Okay, that's what's going on there. But Karen always has a signal.
Yeah, Pilar, she's 23 now. She'll be 23, and she was Karen for Halloween. And all she did was she had the Starbucks cup and a sweatsuit and the ponytail. But as soon as she did this with her phone, like, I'm calling on you. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Now we know
who you are. At the MGM one time, I remember Paul saying, your manager said that you have to have security when you do a meet and greet after the show. I don't know why, but you'll have it. And I said, you'll see why. Because I'm only 5 feet tall, and people think they can pick me up.
Oh, yeah.
They can pick me up or pat me on the head or carry me away. Remember when they would just pick me up and carry me away?
Well, I don't know if they were actually carrying you. It might have felt that way. They
were dragging my fat ass. Is that what you're trying to say?
We were walking through I wasn't going to say it. We were walking through, I'm just going to keep looking in this direction.
That's right. Just keep talking. Don't even acknowledge
what happened. I didn't say anything. So we were walking through a club, and I was holding Debbie's hand, and then all of a sudden she was gone. And then I turned around, and some guy was holding her hand, walking her in the other direction. I'm like, oh, hell no. So that stuff happens all the time. Probably never happens to you.
No, not to you. Nobody's going to touch you.
No, I'll tell you what I get, and you can ask Brad about this. I'm sure Brad gets it. Any big guy gets it. They hit the arm. And when they hit that arm, they don't pat that arm. They reach. It comes from back here. And they hit that arm as hard as they can while they're telling their story.
Oh.
That's what they do.
Because you are a big dude.
Yeah.
And it's the most annoying thing, but that's what they do. Or they shake your hand and they want to show you how strong they are. That's the other annoying one. Remember handshakes? Remember way back then?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I like when you
Oh, I know. I'm going to tell you my funniest story with security, and it just happened this summer. So I did a show down at Huntington Beach at this bar on the beach. As you know, we're doing it wherever we can, however we can. So it's outdoors, right? So after the show, we said we can't do the meet and greet, obviously, pandemic, but people want to come over and start taking pictures. And the security guy, and I tipped him for it. It was funny, but it was brilliant. He took, the metal grates they use for like to guide where you're walking. It looks kind of like a bicycle rack, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
portable.
Yeah.
You can pick it up.
Staunches.
He put that in front of me. So they literally couldn't get past that barrier. Like he put a physical barrier in front of me and said that if you want to take a selfie, like you had to stand here and I was 6-7 feet behind you and you had to shoot at.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I thought that was hilarious, but brilliant on his part because he was telling people stay back and they wouldn't step back. So he just put up the barricade.
Yeah. We'd never had that in the day, and usually after a show you're out there at a table and you're selling stuff, and I would always get the questions. That fourth wall that you were talking about earlier, that was always broken because these people would get off the stage and they'd come outside and they think everything she just said on stage, they can ask me if it's true. Well, most of what she says it's about our lives, of course, but it's a combination. It's our brother-in-law in some of those stories, and it's a friend in some of them.
That's why, you shoot for the middle. Like this will remind them of everybody's husband or whatever. Alonzo, you're one of the few comics that went back out on the road. I was very concerned. I think you even wrote back, "Okay, Mom." I'm like, "Don't touch this. Don't touch that. Get your own mic."
To those listening and watching, to say that Debbie was concerned is an understatement to the left. She's at a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. Debbie shifted into full mommy mode. I had to have the right hand sanitizer, the right masks. I had to have wipes for everything I touched. I had to have a gun to shoot anyone who got within 6 feet. You just leave them on the ground dead. And a taser. I had a taser with me and 2 large dogs. And that was the only way Debbie was going to let me travel.
Those are all the requirements.
A sprayer, an alcohol sprayer. So if they were nearby, I just sprayed them. No, it was, the flight was the one part there's no control over. But I was fortunate that I didn't have any COVIDiots on my plane, right? So... that's what we call them now. They're COVIDiots. And so none of them getting on with no masks and yelling about their civil law rights. That was my favorite quote so far. This woman was yelling, "I know my civil law rights." Okay, whatever those might be. But I didn't have any of that. And there's a empty seat next to you. That's how the airlines were doing it. But when you get to the club, you're naturally social distance because you're on stage and the stage is distance from the front row. And I did a few clubs, and what they all did it the same way. They sold tickets differently, but what they would do is the tables were 6 feet apart. You wear your mask coming in and you can only sit with people you know. So what some clubs do is you buy a table and then you could have 1, 2, 3, or 4 people at that table, but you had to buy that table and it was 6 feet from the next table, so I think they did a good job. I didn't get anything. I've been tested 3 times, 1 antibody and 2 actual tests, and everything's come up negative. And the last one I did, I did one after Thanksgiving, which was like a crazy travel weekend. And I was out the Friday, Saturday, but I got tested when I came back and I'm okay. Common sense. The bigger pandemic than COVID is stupidity. That's the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you can get around that one, and just it's science, right? Just wear your mask so you don't breathe on people and keep your distance. Those are the 2 main things they say to do. And if you do that, the odds are tremendously in your favor. But it only takes 1 COVIDiot to, and they've shown it. It only takes 1 to infect a room.
Right.
To infect an entire room. So.
Right.
But the road, I had to get back on stage. I was losing my mind.
I know.
Oh,
I know. The Zoom comedy is just not what, I didn't like it. I didn't like the Zoom comedy. But I hear you, but you miss it. How did you keep your distance from comedians in the green room? Because normally those are smaller rooms.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to remember. So in Tampa, the green room's like the office. It's old school. It's the club owner's office is the green. So I just hung out outside.
You can go through their mail, though. You can go through their mail.
Yeah. Usually what I do is I hang outside before the show. The other green rooms, they were big enough. And again, it's common sense and respect of each other.
Mm-hmm.
In the helium green rooms, you wear your mask, and that's it. It's what people do.
Do they change mics between you guys? Do you have them?
Each of you has a mic. And I have a mic that I sometimes even remember to bring. But no, the club, each of you bring a mic. And then I did a show. Where was I? I did this bootleg show last week in West LA.
What's a bootleg show?
Well, shows are illegal now, right? It's illegal to gather. So we did this show in West LA. I said it's the first time that the weed was legal and the comedy was illegal because there were like 30 people there. And they have these, we joke about them, we call them the mic condoms, but I don't know if you've seen these. You buy them online. You put one over the mic as each comic is on, you cover it. It's like a little foam thing. You put it on, and you take it off. They wipe it. They clean the mic. That's a job now, mic cleaner. And
it's like the floor girl at a strip club.
Right. Either the sound guy has somebody, or sometimes they have the host do it, and they have the wipes there. I first saw it at the Laugh Factory when we were doing those streaming shows, and you wipe down the mic between each comic and the mic stand.
Jeez.
Crazy times, man.
So on your podcast is always very relevant and very current. And so today Trump pardoned a lot of people. So I'm curious to know what your reaction was on, there's a graphic there for those of you that are watching the show. Who's paying attention. And I know there were a lot of pardons today. I would love to get your opinion. And
I love that you asked that, because I actually recorded my podcast not 2 hours ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
Those listeners and your watchers, my podcast is just me talking about what I find interesting in the news, or funny in the news, or the Clippers. Those three things are what I talk about. So
sometimes the Knights.
Yeah, the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights. My man Ryan Reeves plays there. So anyway, I didn't even talk about the pardons. This is what I talked about. There's a girl in the Cayman Islands, and I don't remember her name off the top of my head. I'd have to pull up the article. 18-year-old young white girl goes to the Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands has a specific rule. They said you must quarantine for 14 days before you can travel. So she had a negative test in the United States. She had a negative test when she got there, and they put a tracking device on you, and you have to wait 14 days before you go anywhere. She took it off to go see her boyfriend in this jet ski competition. Like, that's why she went down. And they arrested her. And they put her in jail. She's in jail for 4 months. And she's asking for freedom. And her family says that, she just made a mistake. And her lawyer said something like, it will affect her for life. And it's like, yeah, it's jail. That's what it's supposed to do. Like, what kind of privilege do you have that you go to another country and just figure, well, that 14 days doesn't apply to me. Right. But here's the thing. They appealed to the Trump administration. And I'm like, you didn't buy a pardon. Pardons aren't free.
Right.
Pardons cost money. You have to donate money to Trump's PAC, or however backdoor you give him the bribe money.
Right.
And you get the pardon. And this one, I can't even say it's just him. Every president does that on the way out. Every president grants pardons on the way out. Now, it might be like Barack Obama was pardoning a lot of people who had like drug convictions. You had a joint in 1995, and now you're doing 25 years. And he let a lot of those people out and he let out other people. But yeah, you don't just get a pardon, So when Trump pardons these people, whether it be Flynn or the congressman from here in California who was using his campaign funds for private use, that doesn't surprise me. That's not even worth talking about. You know what I mean? That it's like, well, of course.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
Right. What about Joe the Tiger King? You think he'll pardon him? He asked.
Yeah,
for
the Lion King
No,
did.
They're waiting to see, and I got a big problem with the tiger. See, I have a problem. This is my Tiger King problem. It's a lack of respect for tigers.
Amen.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
How come lions get James Earl Jones and Broadway? All right, and tigers get Joe Exotic. What kind of treatment is that? Tigers are regal animals.
Yes,
and
they are.
Deserve better than Joe Exotic, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. So leave him in.
And what's her name? The cat lady.
Carol Baskin.
Oh yeah.
Who we know fed her husband to the tigers.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that.
I showed Travis a picture of people getting everything delivered via Amazon because of the pandemic, and this woman had separated her porch to Carol Bassett did it. Carol Bassett didn't, and they would put their packages accordingly. And everybody was talking about it. And we watched the first episode, and then we were in.
Yeah, it's hard not to be hooked on that one.
Before it was a thing, because I have various news feeds, and one of my feeds talked about this show coming on Amazon, and I was like, my girl was over, and and I said, I'm watching this crazy show, and she's like, what the hell are you watching? And yeah, once you watch the first episode, because there's two reasons you watch the Tiger King. If you watch the Tiger King of, I can't believe these people exist, or I'm waiting to see my cousin on this show. It's one or the other. I had to watch it. Listen, Debbie, black people, we watched that show to make sure none of us were on that show. We were like, there better not be any black people involved with this. And thank God we didn't. We weren't in.
Yeah.
And by contrast, almost every one of my family members was on that show.
It's like watching home movies, huh, Trav? I should be careful. Your dad's watching.
My dad's watching. My dad's side of the family wasn't there, just for the record.
So what are your hopes for the new president-elect and Kamala Harris, who when he picked her, I texted you like, yay. And you're like, yeah, okay, Deb. Why? Come on.
Well, because I was already in. Everyone was late on Kamala Harris. I supported Kamala Harris when she was running for president. I love Kamala Harris. Listen, Kamala Harris is a black woman. Black women have been telling me what to do all my life. All right. If there's one thing I've learned is when a black woman tells you something, you listen. She's wrong. And then 3 years later, you're like, I'll be damned. She knew exactly what. Yeah. There's a reason we all listen to Oprah.
Absolutely.
All jokes aside, though, I've supported Kamala Harris. She is intelligent, dynamic. There was some of the hassle of her back in the day, putting people in jail who shouldn't have been in jail. And a lot of that was that mandatory sentencing and all of that stuff. But what they don't talk about is she's a big supporter of the drug court movement, which I am too. And that is sending nonviolent drug offenders to rehab rather than to jail. She did that quite a bit, and she was a big advocate for that.
Right.
The other thing that Biden and Harris, what they both did in regards to their old days of law and order and Biden in the early 90s, you know what they did? They admitted they were wrong and they changed their opinion.
Yes.
And that's the mark of intelligence to say, yeah, I've learned since then and I was wrong. I mean, this is one thing that, and I hate talking about Trump, because it just fills the press. It's more to him like he's one of those, I don't care what you say, just say my name. But he's never admitted he was wrong. And one of the marks of intelligence and maturity is to be able to say I was wrong, or to say I don't know. The thing I'm looking forward to, and I'm already seeing it with Biden, and he's absolutely insane in doing this. He's putting people in the cabinet who know what they're doing. Like he put medical people on the COVID task force.
Go figure. What the hell?
Why would you do that? A doctor is involved. And he just today, I think his latest pick was someone from Connecticut who ran education to run the Department of Education. Like, why would you pick someone who spent their life in education to run the Department of Education? You don't have a rich friend that worked for Amway? Because wouldn't that qualify you
Right.
So my hope for this administration is the cabinet members and sanity returning. The other thing, Deb, I'm looking forward to boring.
Yes.
Joseph Biden is a boring old man. Like the news gonna be like, this morning he had oatmeal, and I'll be, isn't that nice?
Exactly.
Isn't that nice? The old
I
man
shouldn't
had
know some of
oatmeal.
these names. Some of these names that became household names. I shouldn't know those names. We never have before.
When I was in Montreal and I was doing jokes about Betsy DeVos and Ben Carson, everyone knew who I was talking about. Think about that. Think about our Department of Education. Our Secretary of Education is such an idiot, such a asshole, so bad at her job that other countries know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
The head of housing and urban development, does Ben Carson take long blinks or short naps? I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. No one blinks like this. That's like he blinks. I'm like, what's going on?
Hey, you want to ask him if he's all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to think in another country, they know who that is. Like, that's how bad it was. So those are my hopes with the administration. Of course, and we're getting more serious now, but I love talking about this stuff. It's all on Georgia, right? Because if the Democrats get the Senate, then you can push through agenda. If the Republicans maintain the Senate, then Mitch McConnell, once again, his only job is to say no to everything, which is what he did under Barack Obama. And again, any other country, this would border on treason to have the leader of a branch of government say, my only job is to make sure the leader doesn't get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with
and to announce it it beforehand.
Right. So again, we're living in an insane time, and but so there's hope for that, right? The vaccine, I love the fact that all these people who said the virus is a hoax are taking the vaccine.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. First in
all
line,
those politicians are too. Yeah.
Listen, Mike Pence, you pray. You get to pray. That's what you get.
And milk.
You said it's fake. Yeah, you get to pray.
Here's a glass of milk, and get over there with your Bible.
And if you get it, we will send you thoughts and prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to a nurse who's going to the hospital every day, taking care of patients. Marco Rubio, you go to the back of the line. Ted Cruz, all of you, back of the line.
Him in that scripture tweets.
You don't want to wear masks. If you and what a way to thin the herd. What a way to thin the herd, to not give any of them the vaccine. So we have, people ask me, are you going to take the vaccine? I wish I was you know what I'm saying? Like, we're ordinary people. We ain't didn't nobody worry about giving me the vaccine with my insurance. Are you kidding?
Yeah. We could do a fundraiser for the vaccine and still not get it. Hey, I just did your fundraiser. Can I have a vaccine? No.
Oh, not you.
I have a friend who's a doctor and he's a surgeon, and he's already taken the vaccine. And these are the people who should be getting the vaccine. Medical workers, frontline workers, food workers.
Yeah, Alonzo, did you hear they're the considered frontline workers who will be vaccinated? Grocery store.
They should be.
Checkers. Absolutely, yeah.
Because and you know what I feel for them is they're the ones who have to deal with the COVIDiots, right? Because I don't know about you, but all of these anti-maskers I see are white males. Okay, somebody's going to say I'm a racist for saying it and this and that. These are the ones I see throwing tantrums. I just saw another one today, and they bully the weakest people, meaning people who are not allowed to fight back. Store clerks, waiters, drivers, people who their job they have to provide customer. It's like, so they deserve the vaccine because they have to go face to face with these idiots who are going to yell at them. Now they don't ever fight someone. They don't ever yell at someone who can fight back.
Right.
I hate bullies. And that's just bullying. When when you go to the grocery store and you're yelling at the clerk that you're not going to wear your mask, I just can't stand it. Like, tell me why you can't wear your mask. You know what I mean? And then if I say something, I get arrested. I'm the aggressor.
Right.
You know? And so
we had a Target employee just said that's 100% accurate because they can't. And then there goes their job if they say something.
Right. This woman, I saw a clip last week, a waitress at Denny's. These two idiots talk about, we ain't wearing our masks because we're Christian. It's against our religion. And she just quit. She said, I can't do this, and just quit. And so Denny's reached out, and I hope they helped her. I hope there's like the kid in San Diego where the GoFundMe, the kid ended up getting hundreds of thousands of dollars because some idiot woman was yelling at him about not wearing her mask. And then she said she wants part of the money because she created the problem.
Oh, give me a fucking break. Wow.
God, people, right? Yeah. People.
That's like the dude who breaks into someone's house, gets shot, and then sues him for getting shot. No, dude, you were climbing through my window.
I hate to say it, but that's why they say, you know, how should I put this gently? Make sure they don't survive.
Right.
Is that why you say drag them in the house?
Let them get all the way in, first of all.
That's what Travis said. Drag them in the house.
Get them in the house, and now I'm protecting myself.
Yeah, it's a lot of insanity. But and to the Target employee, thank you for your job. You know, the people who do that kind of work, it's physically it's one thing, but mentally and emotionally it has to get draining after a while because you have to deal with you know who's laughing? You know who's laughing? The guy or woman who works in the little glass booth at the self-service gas station. You know, they're locked in the booth. Because they're like, I've been safe the whole time. I've been safe the whole time. I'm in bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're just in there coughing. They don't care.
We support small businesses, you know, with everything that we do. And our flowers come from, we support a florist here in our city. And she was saying that they have to wait on Saturdays, like at 3 a.m, to find out if funerals have been approved to go get flowers for a funeral and
then do them that day and have them ready.
That day. Yeah. And so she said that, you know, you don't think about things like that, like people that are just frontline workers, like florists. Who would have thought they were frontline workers? But when you think about funerals and just things like that you think about, wow, there are a lot of people out there.
You know who people forget in the food chain? Sanitation. The people who clean up.
Yeah.
The trash people, the cleaners. That's part of the food chain because they're eliminating the waste and cleaning that part. You know, the only person in the food chain who's really getting paid is the plumber. Now that guy, when that guy comes out, see, he's part of the food chain. He's cleaning up. You talk about an essential worker.
Right.
My plumber gets paid. I had a plumber out this week. He's getting essential worker money.
Yeah.
I got a friend. My friend has a 1.5-year son. I said, listen, you forget about college. You send that kid to plumbing school.
Absolutely.
And everything will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I always remember our waste management people for everything, though.
Yeah. But it sounds like somebody just got a big plumbing bill. That's probably why he was saying that.
Yeah. But when you need it, you need it.
Yeah.
You know?
I knew a guy, he worked on elevators, and his father owned the company. And this had to be 10 years ago at least. He said, yeah, my dad makes about $500,000 a year. I make about $250,000 a year. He said, you know why? Because when you need your elevator fixed, it's an emergency. There's never not an emergency. If you have an office building and you have you look at those buildings downtown, when that elevator don't work, you think you got time to negotiate? Like, he's like, no. He said, we do inspections and we do emergency repair because whenever you call us, that's an emergency.
Right. Alonzo, if you weren't a comedian, you know, and maybe even taking all this COVID into consideration, because I think a lot of people do, wow, if I was just a blankety blank, I'd be working still. Would you have chosen another profession if you weren't a comedian?
Well, I had one. I was an airplane mechanic. I worked in aerospace. So I probably would have stayed in that business. I don't know what I'd have ended up doing. But yeah, I probably would have stayed in the aerospace business doing something. My last job was training new employees, which was a blast. I loved doing that. And then they made the mistake of giving me the title of engineer since I was teaching. And I didn't go to college. I'm licensed as an airplane mechanic. I went to technical school, but they gave me the title of engineer. I'm like, oh, somebody give me a train. I'm an engineer now.
Well,
But yeah, I'd probably still be doing that.
because that would be
Or
essential
maybe I
too.
would have. See, this is what's funny. So you talked about my love of motorcycles. I love motorcycles. I love cars. I'm a gearhead, and as a comic, I've gotten to know manufacturers and distribution. I did Christmas party for Ducati North America, So I would love to work in that industry, and I could work in that industry. But had I not been a comic, I never would have met the people in that industry. So it's funny how that works. But yeah, I'd be doing something like that. I think I'd be doing something mechanical if I hadn't found stand up.
Yeah, and I'm always looking at your photos. You posted one, I think, yesterday or today. People ask me, what do I do with my motorcycle in winter? I ride it. Because, I'm from the Midwest, and everyone that had a motorcycle parked it in the garage over the winter and, drained the oil. They prepped it for the winter. Not out here. It was 80 degrees out here today.
Yeah.
The friend who said that, she recognized the post. She has a Ducati. She lived in Chicago, and it was around late October, and she had an apartment. So they have these storage facilities where you have to bring your bike down there, and you pay to store it for the winter in like this heated garage. It's safe and this and that. And she said, "So what do you do with your bikes in the winter?" And I just looked. I was like, I ride them. And she never forgave me for that. She like, you son of a bitch, So yeah, in LA on the winter solstice, on the day of the winter solstice, it was 81 degrees.
Yep.
And I said, somehow I'm going to get by. I know it's not easy, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it.
That's tough, man.
So, because
and you know why? But honestly, this is my thing with that. We pay for that weather.
Right.
We do.
100%.
So I looked just today, again, in my podcast, I was talking about the $600 stimulus because, once you get that, all your problems are solved.
Right. Absolutely.
But I looked.
That's my average rent.
Average rent in Los Angeles, $2,300. Then I said, well, let's look at Middle America. In Des Moines, Iowa, it's $900. And in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I just picked a red state city, it's $700 and something. Well, part of the reason we pay $2,300 versus $900 is no winter. So I always get mad when some place in the country is having better weather than us. I'm upset. I'm like, no, we pay for the best weather in the country. And I don't want to hear about New York had a warm streak and it's 72 degrees in New York and 58 in LA. Oh, hell no. No, you flip that. I'm paying for sun.
Because 58 is it's cold out here.
Yeah.
We're freezing at 60.
Get the long sleeves on.
The scarves and everything.
Yeah.
Because this is a food show, we usually wrap with food questions, and I sent you some, but all I got back was you pretty much order out and pick up.
Yes.
You order and pick up.
I'm a single guy. I don't cook.
You don't cook anything.
I stopped lying about I'm going to cook, I don't know, 20 years ago. You lie to yourself like, yeah, I'm going to start cooking. One of the biggest benefit of show business, and you guys know this, is we eat for free. Mm-hmm. We eat for free all the time. You go to a show, the club feeds you. If you're on TV, if you're doing a TV show, forget
the Chew. Have you ever done the Chew?
Yeah,
on ABC? Meals, right? Oh my gosh, they give you whiskey in the morning.
Yeah, so the thing about cooking, and I get it. I know a lot of people like to cook. Cooking can be an art. I've had Tom Papa's sourdough bread. It is absolutely delicious, but it's not my thing. So I order food. Now, two reasons I don't get delivery. One, I might never get up. John Heffron, Hef.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Hef had all of his favorite foods in his Alexa. So he could say like, Alexa, pizza, Alexa, spaghetti, and it would order it, right? Because you could program, and it was like No,
Wow.
Hef, you can't be that lazy
Wow.
where your eating is down to 2
Oh,
words. So,
get up.
He won't physically get up.
right. All you had to do is, he said, you just sit on the couch, and once you get it programmed, because that's how it is now, right? You have it programmed. It has your payment information. It has your favorites locked in. The system tracks everything we do, and all you do is say Alexa blank, and then you go get your food, right?
Huh.
So that's one reason. The other reason is I live in Woodland Hills, and I'm like in the border. There's critters. There's random raccoons or a coyote. I'm always afraid if I order food and they leave food at the door, some raccoon's going to be like, "Oh, dinner is here every night at 7."
Tell his friends.
Yeah, this is the spot, man. It's going to be so. I go pick it up. I don't want to leave food out and feed them. But yeah, as far as cooking, no, I can. I might make bacon to have with breakfast now and then, and something like that. But
I've made
Got it.
probably close to 1,000 meals since COVID.
Since the beginning of the year, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
3 meals a day.
Yeah, and we feed other people too, so I do that too. And the other day I was loading my dishwasher for the millionth time, and I turned to Travis, I go, "Do you even think Alonzo loads his dishwasher?" He had no idea where that was even coming from. But do you have a dishwasher, and how often do you run
Not
it?
only, let me tell you something, young lady.
She was mad at me because of you, by
I'm
the
like,
way.
I bet he doesn't even use his dishwasher.
Like I had to bear the brunt of that.
If you saw my kitchen, you'd lose your mind. Okay.
Is it a
Cooks love my
chef's kitchen?
Can I show you my kitchen?
Yes,
Can we take a
please.
walk?
Could you? Yeah.
I'm gonna make Debbie mad right now.
It's probably clean too.
Let me show you my kitchen.
What? I think this is a first for us, a kitchen tour.
Yeah.
All right.
For those of you that
go
are
to the
listening, he's walking into, oh my gosh.
Okay. Oh, wow.
My stove. You see that?
A
Yes.
non-cooker.
See that? That's Italian, baby. That is the best. Now, right
Can I
here,
come cook at your place?
look at this. See my farmer's sink?
You have that's what I want. The
This
farmer's
is
sink.
no, you're really effing me up here, bro.
Okay. Right here. Let's see if you can see that. This would be my brand new GE dishwasher because
Wait.
the old dishwasher didn't work.
Nothing.
So I bought a new one.
You have to run them for them to work. Look at you have spices.
He has all that, and then he eats on paper.
And there's I don't know if you can see my big double fridge with no food in it. So when you ask, do I have a dishwasher? I'll tell you, when I moved in, I've been here about 2.5 years. The dishwasher was cracked. It had all that corrosion, that
Yeah.
white powder you get, and it wouldn't clean. So I said, I'm going to buy a new dishwasher. So I went and bought a dishwasher. I bought the one on sale. And of course, that one didn't fit. And I know how these things go, right? I told my friend, I said, listen, I said, I don't know what dishwashers cost. It's going to cost me $1,000. And they're like, no. And I said, watch. So I get the dishwasher that's on sale for, I don't know, $5.95, whatever it is. And they come to put it in and it doesn't fit. It's like an inch too tall because they're like, oh, you need the blank special dishwasher that's made smaller. So now it goes from a $500 dishwasher to an $800 dishwasher. With installation, it's $1,000, right? That's like, because that's how it goes. So my cleaning lady, who has the easiest
You
job,
have a cleaning lady?
she comes every 2 weeks. She has the easiest job in the world because I live in my living room and the bedroom, and the rest of the house is untouched. But she's great. But she told me, she said, you have to run the dishwasher.
You do.
She said, so what you do, she said, put the dishes in it and then once a week run it. And I've been doing that and it works great. And but yeah, Deb, so I have a kitchen that chefs would love, especially my stove. And there was like 1 or 2 burners on the stove that didn't work when I got here, and you have to find someone who can fix this particular stove. So
The elevator guy.
And he came and he fixed it. So yeah, so I have a gourmet kitchen completely unused.
Well, I feel like that's an invitation for us to go.
To go and cook over there.
Yeah.
When this is over?
COVID can't come in.
Oh,
Listen,
crap.
yellow tape.
When
COVID.
this is okay. All right.
When it's over, though, we'll be there.
I remember making Alonzo a batch of my favorite chocolate chip cookies, and I started to handwrite the directions, the recipe, because I always give the recipe with the cookies, right? And Pilar goes, Mom, seriously, he does not want that.
The recipe.
The recipe.
My sister used to make great chocolate chip cookies, but no, I'm not. And to me, like, I respect it if cooking is your thing.
Right.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's not my thing. It's great if you do it. My mother didn't cook. My mother didn't like cooking. My mother cooked for us to eat. You know what I mean? But it was never anything more than that. And when I was 13, I was the youngest. When I was 13, she sat us down. She said, "This is not a restaurant." She said, "I'm cooking once. If you're home, you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not home, you'll figure it out."
Mm-hmm.
And that started it. You know, I had an aunt. She passed away, but she was in San Francisco. My mother's little sister. She was a chef. She could cook. I would drive to San Francisco to get food because she loved cooking, and she would cook these huge home cooked meals. But no, it's never been my thing, and I've never felt, you know, lesser. And the women I date, my brother had a perfect description. He said, "Yeah, Alonzo dates women that think the kitchen is where the waiters go."
Well, we usually ask like a fast round of questions about food, but I've spared you that. And so what I have instead are a few, Travis and I write conversation starters, because a lot of times you get to your meal and you know, hey, how was work? It was work. You know, how was school? Okay. So we started coming up with conversation starters that are more fun, that you think about, you know, like, hey, if you had a superpower, what would it be? And so now your kid can converse, or your spouse or partner can converse. So I have a few questions regarding COVID. Are you ready?
Fire away.
What has been your most bizarre COVID quarantine purchase?
Let's see. You mean besides the dishwasher?
That'll qualify. $1,000 dishwasher. Yeah.
I would say that's probably no. I'll tell you my most bizarre purchase: computer, 2 monitors, and studio lights to do these Zooms.
Okay. Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
I was going to say for you.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say for you, it was diapers.
No,
Because,
but I mean that's charity stuff. I'll do that all the time.
And
but I've had to learn about Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi speeds and boosters. I always laughed at my brother for having multiple monitors, and now I have 2 monitors, and I couldn't imagine not having 2 monitors.
Once you've got it, you wonder how you got through.
You're like, oh, I see. So I'm reading on one. One is like my teleprompter, and the other one is my video and audio. So even this, I'm on my laptop, but I can divide the screen into 2. You know, so I would say that would be the one thing I never would have thought to buy.
Yeah.
What new and unexpected hobby have you started during quarantine?
Oh, I love that you asked that. I learned to jump rope.
Really?
Yes.
That's super healthy, dude.
I'd never learned to jump rope. And, you know, boxers do it all the time.
Right.
But here's the thing. I can't jump the speed rope. I jump the heavy rope. Have you ever seen, they call them battle ropes, the big heavy ropes?
That they do this with? Yeah.
That's my jump rope, one of those.
That's
How
like
do you lift
it? It weighs about 6 pounds. And I learned to jump rope, and now I can do it forward and backward. And I jump between 300 and 400 jumps a day.
But Alonzo, how do you lift it up over your head?
Have you seen the size of this
That's
man?
the workout. It's a gyroscopic workout to spin a rope that heavy. It's a workout. Let me tell you, I do 4 sets of 100, and after each set, you're huffing and puffing. So, but when I started in April, I probably couldn't do 7 jumps without tripping or stopping or whatever. And now I can jump rope. So that has been my thing, and I love it.
And now you're on your way to double Dutch. I can't wait to see that video.
You know, if you learn to jump rope, you look at because my sister and all the girls in the neighborhood could double Dutch. You're like, that is the greatest footwork. Like if I had a son, if you have a son and you want them to play basketball or football or soccer, double Dutch jump rope. You know what kind of foot speed and coordination you have to jump 2 ropes going in opposite direction? Like we look at little girls doing that and you're like, oh, that's easy. Really? You'll break both your legs trying to mess with.
And you'll snap off your arms. Your arms will snap off everything.
And they have a rhyme that fits the jumping. And the fact that they can talk while they're jumping means they're not winded.
Right.
You mess with a 7-year-old girl, she will wear your ass out.
Absolutely.
Like, let me get 2 jump ropes and school your old ass.
That is the best answer I think we've gotten.
This is pretty good. It's pretty good.
What trip are you going to take first once travel restrictions have lifted?
What I hope to do, and it was thwarted in September, I'm booked to do a show at a BMW motorcycle rally in North Carolina. And I want to ride across country. I rode LA to New York to do a rally once. One of the few times that the experience exceeded any expectation I had. Riding a motorcycle cross country was on my bucket list. It was phenomenal. I loved it. And I want to do that again. So hopefully I can do the ride to North Carolina.
Yeah, well, hopefully by then you will help me talk Debbie into getting another BMW.
I miss the BMW.
We had a nice 1200.
I did. I felt
LT.
safe with the kids on that. I felt safe on it.
That was a good bike.
It was a beautiful bike.
Maybe I'll trail along with you, man.
All right, here's the last one. Oh, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to tell you that I bought my bike at BMW of San Diego. You talk about the LT. They had like this beautiful mint 2004 LT touring bike. It was in beautiful shape. So call my friends in San Diego.
Okay. I'll say Zoe sent me.
Yes, trust me, they'll know.
If you could have anyone, real or fictional, as a quarantine buddy, who would it be?
Wow, that is such an open-ended question. There's so many people.
Good questions, huh?
It's a great question.
It's why I get nominated for Emmys. I lose them all, but it's why I get nominated.
But you're nominated. You're on the list. They know who you are. So, I mean, you have the woman thing, right? If it would it be an alluring, amazing woman, but taking that out of it, taking the sexual aspect and the relationship out of it, and just who would be interesting. My friend Marcus Miller, the jazz musician, he's probably the most creative guy I know. So that would be one. That would be interesting. I met someone, and again, Deb, you know this. Travis, you probably experienced it, but maybe not as much. When we meet someone in this business that you never thought you would meet, right? That you never thought you would. We did this thing, and you can see it online. It's called the Smooth Jazz Christmas. You know, I work with Smooth Jazz Cruises.
Right.
And they had a bunch of the artists do Christmas. Some did songs, some did shout outs. And we interviewed Vanessa Williams, and I got to meet Vanessa Williams.
Wow.
So if you want to talk about somebody you'd like to be quarantined with.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Lovely, funny. Very funny.
Intelligent.
Down to earth.
Beautiful.
Humble. Everything. And her stories. You know, some people tell stories and they don't even realize how crazy the story is, because we asked her about Miss America. And I don't know do you know her, Deb? Have you talked to her? You interviewed her?
I haven't interviewed her, but I'm familiar with the story about Miss America, which was such a horrible cheap shot, boy.
Well, no, before like how she became Miss America. Well, she grew up in a family that were achievers, and they were talent. There was music, and she said she always, you know, you learn to sing, you learn to dance, this and that. And she said, well, she was a musical actress, musical theater. That was her dream. And she said, well, there was an April and I had a gig fall out. I wasn't booked and I saw this and we're like, so you just happened to be off in April and said, oh, well, let me go win Miss America. Like, you know what I mean? Like people strive their whole lives to get into this.
Since they're 6, they're groomed.
Right. But she said her beauty wasn't a thing until she grew up. Like, in other words, growing up, her family was like, no, they didn't even acknowledge the beauty. It was your talent and you work and you do this. And then it was kind of like she got out in the world and found out, oh, I'm stunningly beautiful. You know what I mean?
Surprise.
But it was the craziest thing, the way she talked about it, because it was like, well, I didn't have anything in April, so I just figured I'd enter Miss America. And I'm thinking, you know how crushing that is for all these other women who spent their whole lives, like,
all the pageants and everything
Yeah.
before.
The sick, crazy pageant parents and all this and all that. And she wasn't booked in April.
Yeah.
But she was very cool about it, and we talked about it. But people who have stories like that fascinate me. I met Quincy Jones. You know, this is another guy that you could talk to forever, because his ordinary is astounding. You know, when you're talking about a guy who did the music for Frank Sinatra and Michael Jackson, right? And he was talking about Japan. And, you know, he's like, he starts a story. This was the second Olympics I scored. Wait, no, stop. Wait, no, you can't start a story with this is the second Olympics. And when he did music for Barack Obama, that was the third inauguration he had done music for. Wow. You know, this. So when you meet people like that, when you talk about being stuck with somebody, to talk to people who have lived these lives and had these experiences, it's beyond fascinating. It's beyond fascinating. I mean, Quincy Jones talked about that. He talked, you know, because I joked with him. I did a joke about We Are the World. I said, you know, Quincy Jones is the only person who could tell Bono to shut up. Right? And he was like, I don't know how you knew that, but yeah, I did have to shut him down a little bit. Like Quincy, think about We Are the World. Remember that song?
Yeah.
So you're the guy who's like, okay, Madonna, you move to the second row. Michael, we need you over here. Like, these were the 20 biggest stars on earth.
And and not Janet Jackson, LaToya Jackson.
Right. Yeah.
20 big stars and LaToya.
But he's the guy in charge, and all of them respect him so much that when he points that you should stand here or you should sing that, they listen. They don't, you don't question Quincy Jones, you know? So, I mean, this is the guy who gave us the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? This is the guy who gave us Will Smith. And when he's telling these stories, you're realizing like, oh yeah, oh, that was you. Oh yeah, that was you too. Oh, that was you, you know? And so, to be with one of these people, and like I say, my friend Marcus is like that. Marcus played in Miles Davis's band when he was 21, and he left there to do the music for Luther Vandross. You know, so you're like, yeah, these are the kind of people I would like to be with. People whose creativity is unlimited.
Wow.
The biggest. And I've learned this because I've been in my own way, definitely at times in my career, I've been in my own way. And I admire people who don't have that thing that says, I can't do it. They just don't have that. There's no part of their brain that says, I can't do blank. I so admire those people. Tiffany Haddish is the latest one. We watched her, right, Deb? We watched Tiffany grow up and become Tiffany Haddish, and she always knew who she was going to be.
Oh my God. I remember
nothing in her life got in the way of that.
Nope. I remember her cradling my face like this and wiping my tears away because her story was so sad, but she went out there and she talked about it in a way that was amazing to me. And she'd say, Debbie, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. And damned if she wasn't, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing to watch people like that, you know. So, and again, I love that. I love people who have no no creative limit on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are really good choices. And I love what you said, because I think a lot of people deal with imposter syndrome. They get in a position they don't know, constantly second guessing yourself. And it is rare to see someone who has that, that ability to just know emphatically, this is who I am. This is what I was
and
put
keep growing
on this earth to do.
Yeah.
I look at you guys like that, comedians, people that get on stage and bare your soul and talk in front of people. A lot of us regular schlubs, we look at comedians and say, wow, I wish I could live that life. We don't realize that you've got, an empty fridge and you've got a $1,000 dishwasher you never get to use, all that kind of stuff that goes with it. But of course, on the flip side, you get to meet Quincy Jones and Marcus Miller.
Well, all of that is the work, right?
Yeah.
Everything we do is the work to get on stage, and being on stage is home. I had a therapist, and I didn't even know she was going to be there, but she was at some benefit show I was doing. And it was the first time she saw me work live. And she said, if I could get you to be like that all the time, you'd be fine. She's like, the stage is the one place that I'm completely free, completely at home. I don't even think when I'm up there. It's where I was meant to be. And once you realize that, then you do everything else to do that.
Exactly. They pay you to travel. Else. They pay you to catch that shuttle at 5 a.m. They pay you to haul those bags and find somebody to help you put them above your I do it myself because people are always so scared to see me standing on a seat. They go, let me help you.
She's referring to, for those of you that don't know or haven't seen this joke of Alonzo's, he talks about strong women. It's a hilarious joke. I wish I had that clip to show.
But they do. They pay you to go through all that. That's the dues,
That's the work. That's the work. And then the payoff is on stage. The payoff is and
that's how you know you love it. That's how you know you love it. When you hit your alarm at 3 a.m. going, shit. And then you get to LAX or wherever or Ontario, wherever you're going. And, that's how you know you love it. Like I wouldn't do that for anything else.
Yeah. And we comics wouldn't do it any other way. Like I know musicians and they're like, how do you get up there yourself? I'm in a band. I got other people. And we're like, we wouldn't have it any other way. And, the great thing about comedy, and again, Deb, you know this because you've been in green rooms. When you're on stage, when you're on the show, none of the other stuff matters. So I've been on shows. I've been lucky enough to be on a show where, Dave Chappelle and Damon Wayans and Lewis Black and whoever else, right? But it doesn't have anything to do with how famous you are or how much money you have. You're funny enough to be in the club. You're on stage.
Yes.
You're in the green room. Dane Cook said something great this summer when we were dealing with all the Black Lives Matter. There were protests, everything. He was like, man, wouldn't it be great if the world was a green room?
Yes.
Right? Because when you're in the green room, either your ass is funny or you're not funny. We really don't care if you're black, white, Latinx, Jewish. Any of that is just material for us to fuck with you. we want to know what you are just so we can use that against you.
Where's your weak spot?
But which is why no one can make fun of Eric Griffin. No one knows what the hell he is. No one knows. It's my God, what is he? No one knows.
I gotta make sure to hashtag Eric Griffin.
But that's the gift to be a part of this thing. I love being a part of this thing. And I have something coming up. This is that teaser that I get in trouble for, but you'll know if it happens. But I'm up for something great next year. So fingers crossed in January, it would be a game changer for me.
I will.
I'm looking forward to that. And you are my last scheduled podcast of 2020.
Oh, thank you.
Right, man.
I think I get to take off next week from screens. I get to stop looking at me talk.
Yeah, you've got some stuff coming up.
Well, for those that do want to find you and follow you, I'm going to put your stuff here on the screen. Instagram @ZoFunny, ZO Funny. YouTube /So Funny, Twitter @Alonzo Bodden, Facebook is /Alonzo Bodden, and then his website, alonzobodden.com.
Where you can sign up for a newsletter and get a newsletter.
From Alonzo?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I do a monthly, I do that. And,
he does a monthly newsletter every 6 to 7 weeks.
That's right. Whether I need to or not. And my December was canceled, so Denver was canceled. Philly was canceled. Where was I supposed to be for New Year's? I was supposed to be, I think, Indy. Yeah, Indy was canceled. I was supposed to go to Aruba first week of January. That's canceled. And now we're just waiting for Bananas right now is scheduled at the end of January, but that's in Hasbrook Heights, which is in New Jersey, just outside of Manhattan. So I think it's pretty safe to say that's not going to happen. Right. The only thing I can tell people, fans of comedy, is we will be back.
We will.
People, is comedy dead? We ain't going anywhere. We got a lot to say, and they're going to need to hear from us. And you think we ain't got Biden jokes? We got jokes.
Right.
We got jokes. So
well,
don't worry.
Between
new administration's still funny. We still don't like them.
Between now and when we can see you live, we want to make sure everyone can check this out on Amazon. It's heavy lightweight. Sorry about that, Alonzo. On Amazon, it's an original and it is hilarious.
Very funny.
We watched it. Debbie watched it twice because she saw it and then I saw it with her. Very good stuff, man. And always a fan of your comedy.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're one of my favorite people. And like I said, one of my oldest friends in this business. I think we've been friends for 26 years.
Yeah. I started in 93, so we probably met in 94.
Me too. Yeah.
So we probably met in 93. I just saw Rudy at his annual Christmas toy drive. Gave him some toys. To those listening, Rudy Moreno has been booking Latino comedy rooms for the last 73 years.
Yes.
I think. And you are not a comic if you haven't done a Rudy Moreno gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Everyone has done it from the people you've never heard of to George Lopez. Like everybody's done it.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody has. Yeah.
We love them. But that's how we met, doing those East LA gigs.
Oh my gosh. I remember doing this place Tortillas.
The Ice House at 3 a.m.
Right. We did this place called Tortillas. I don't know if you remember Tortillas. And I
remember Tortillas.
I was on the news one day and somebody was murdered and Travis goes, "You played that gig." I go, "It wasn't comedy night. The murder wasn't on comedy night."
No, they would never murder you on comedy night. But Tortillas was fantastic because there would be a fight in the club and the show wouldn't stop.
Right. Oh. So
is that where you met your homeboys?
Super quick. So our corporation's name is Mommy Comic Inc. And that's my handle on everything, Mommy Comic. What had happened is I was in Tortillas and I was getting ready to go on stage and Willie Barcena had introduced me and I was getting on stage and the cops came to arrest this big Samoan guy. Big. And so he goes, "Wait, I want to see the Mommy Comic." And I love the Mommy Comic. And so that is my corporate name and my gang name. And
she's assumed that identity.
And so then I had this following of gang members because I was playing Tortillas and all these little Mexican gigs. And then they would all want to take a picture, Mommy. Take a picture with us, Mommy Comic. And there was always two guys at the bottom throwing their gang signs. "Throw your sign, Mommy Comic." I'm like, yeah.
There's an honor ranch, which is like, I guess, a low security prison up in, I think it's not in Valencia, like it's just north of that. What's it called? Wayside Honor Rancho. It's like 20 miles north of Magic Mountain out in the middle of nowhere. And I had to do this speaking thing there. There were guards and prisoners that knew me from Tortillas.
Oh, God.
I swear to God, I am not making that up. There were guards and prisoners that knew me from Tortillas. That was like, are you kidding? That's why we love comedy, because you get moments like that where like, yeah, I'm the peacemaker. That's right.
Oh, that was great. Alonzo, wishing you the happiest of holidays, and you're going to have a brilliant 2021. I know you are. Everything good's going to happen to you too, because you so deserve it. You are so kind and so generous, and people only see like the funny you, but if they could see your soul, it is just so beautiful and bright. And I love you.
I love you guys too. And, George Wallace, who, obviously friend, mentor, everything. And he says it all the time. Got the greatest job in the world. Listen, I'll complain a lot. I'll get mad. You know how this business is. It can get on your nerves, this or that. But at the end of the day, we have the greatest job in the world. Right. So yeah, I'm still loving it. And, I remember when I started and I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember his name, but Comic had been doing it for 20 something years. And I said, do you still love it? And he was like, I still love a new joke. And I still love a new joke, and George knows. I'm just waiting to take George Wallace's place. If George ever retires.
Thursday nights. You're there in Vegas. Thursday night show. George Wallace. We just go, Alonzo Bodden. You could keep the same song.
That's
Alonzo
right.
Bodden.
Right. And whatnot. And so forth. That's right.
We love you so much.
Love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Enjoy Christmas. And to all your listeners and fans out there, Debbie, she's the greatest. Travis is the greatest. And
thank you, man.
Yeah. Just watch this podcast, then unplug for a couple of hours and just,
Thank you, man.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah, agreed. We love you. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna go throw something in the dishwasher because I can.
Put your toothbrush. You can put your toothbrush in there.
I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna throw a plate in the dishwasher. That's how I roll. That's right. And then tomorrow I'll heat up what's left in my oven. One of the ovens, because there's 2 ovens. There's 2 ovens, Deb, so I just use one.
See,
gosh, 2 ovens.
You've inspired him.
Oh
He's going to use his ovens.
I have to use a neighbor's oven. Can I cook this in there while I'm cooking this and this one?
Yeah, I'll use one of the ovens.
Oh my gosh!
Son of a bitch!
I'm gonna be like that, huh, Travis, on Christmas while I'm taking things in and out of the oven. Alonzo has 2 fucking ovens.
All right, thank you, Alonzo.
Thank you again, Alonzo.
Love you, brother.
Guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Oh,
He's always so funny. That story about tortillas slayed me at the end.
Guards and
prisoners. Oh my gosh, I could talk to him forever.
Well, he's always fun to talk to and listen to. I've always been a fan of his comedy. He saved our daughter's life, so there's that. Alonzo Bodden, look him up online. He's always posting some great things. And if you're a motorcycle enthusiast, check out. He's done so many things. He's always doing something with motorcycles and sometimes people say, "Here, ride this and tell us your experience."
Remember, he rode the motorcycle with the barbecue attached to it. Like they had to stop and they had to make burgers.
Yeah,
he and Jay Leno had a contest.
We had that clip. Listen. Alonzo, if you're still watching, I need your help. I need a new motorcycle. We haven't had one in the house for a while. It's like a dog. Once you get rid of it, after it goes, you have to get a new one. I think we've met that window. So the comments here are they love you, Alonzo. You're interesting and a great fun podcast. Super fun to have you on the show as always. So thank you, Alonzo. And
that was fun.
Yeah.
So join us on Sunday. Remember, Sunday I won't be cooking. I've stopped cooking for the year, I think.
Giving her a break.
Giving me a break.
Yeah.
It's going to be sushi on Christmas Eve. And but that's not going to stop us from connecting with you. Like Alonzo was saying, as a comic, we just love reaching out to you. And I miss you guys. And I miss the laughter and I miss the applause. So when I see you on comments, like you guys put the smiley faces, the laughing places, faces, the applause. I love that because I miss that connection so much. And Sunday, we're going to play these Zoom games that you can play with your family and download. And they're going to be really creative, wonderful questions for you to play, conversation starters.
Yeah.
So that'll happen on Sunday. Don't forget, Tuesday, we have the very funny Michael Malone with us, who is the author of Dead Serious. And has one of those amazing one-man shows I've ever seen, really. I remember coming home from that telling you, now that was an amazing one-man show.
Yeah, we're going to kick off the, nearly the new year with some information from Mike. And he's got a lot of good info to share, but he does it in a very light and entertaining way. So Mike Malone will be next Tuesday.
And so remember, we live stream to you both on YouTube and Facebook for those shows. So stop by and chat with us, chat with each other during the show. On YouTube, go ahead and like that if you haven't already. That really helps us. And Table Talk is available on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, or your favorite platform, and iHeart Radio.
Oh my God. Look at this. You
Did
guys,
he just send you something?
I'm going to show you guys. Look at what he did. He sent me this. Now I have to buy it. I think that's the rule.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the rule. Thank you, Alonzo.
I do miss your BMW. I do.
It was a very comfortable bike.
Beautiful bike.
Yeah.
Except when they had to fix it, then it's like, well, it's a BMW.
Oh, you got a flat tire? Yeah, $300 or $400
it's a BMW.
later. Yeah.
So anyway, so we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yep.
So get your favorite beverage, come to the table, get your family together, and we're going to have some great fun with conversation starters. So get your typing fingers ready for comments. And so, look at everybody responding now. Everybody was real quiet during the podcast, but now they're all coming up. They're all just listening. Thanks, guys. That was great. Funny, great show. Very funny. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas, or like we say, Debbie Grow, Merry Crima. So we love you. Have a wonderful Christmas. Wear your mask. Stay safe. Stay soapy. 6 feet apart. And
be considerate of the essential workers, food service workers.
Yeah.
And if you're a big dude like me or like Alonzo and you see someone getting hassled, maybe just step a little closer to that person. Remind them that it's not cool to do that. So
have a beautiful Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, guys.
We love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.